I think that a few years back, the people who were open to change kind of recognized that OTT as a digital platform is going to explode, and the accessibility and comfort of that platform is cannot be ignored. It is the reality, and it is going to happen. I think we're very fortunate to be in a time where we can divide our energies into separate areas and actually work in two separate areas which are very different from each other. I think watching content at home, in the comfort of your house, till the time you want, stopping it, having a meal, continuing to watch it, is a very personal and a very enjoyable and a very comfortable experience. And going to a film theater to watch a film is more like an event experience where you want to go out with the family, have a good time, maybe go out for dinner, go to the mall, watch a movie, make a day out of it. And both have their place. So I don't see any, I don't see theater and OTT, I don't see them kind of colliding into each other. I see them coexisting next to each other as two very, very good options. And as filmmakers, as actors, as content creators, we now have more avenues to choose from. I think the challenge for all of us now is to understand that how this has, the entire ecosystem around us has changed. And we need to adapt and know which content we want to take on which platform or on which, screen size, And that, I think, is what we all need to work towards. So even though a lot of people wanted this film out to be in theaters, in fact, theater exhibitors called us up and spoke to us about it. But we kind of stuck to what we truly had envisioned for this film, which was creating a film which is a big screen experience for the OTT platform. Because I think that is what is happening internationally. Like if you see a film like Irishman, for example, when Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro and that stellar cast, who are actually people who are now in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, can recognize that it's time to make that shift as an added option to the fact that you can make movies as well. I think for us younger lot, we better wake up to it,
No, but I'm actually very happy that filmmakers are thinking about this because we've made the shift. The geographical boundaries have dissolved. You all have started watching everything that you want. You're comparing with everything. Himanshu, as a producer also, you're coming on board. Numbers nahi hai. How comfortable do you get on a day or two after that? चलो ठीक है, लोग देख रहे हैं. वो जो पैसा देखने की आदत है producers की, how do you handle that?
In fact, glad you spoke about numbers. To set a context, quantifiably, if I were to put a number that actually number of people that who saw Hum Aapke Kaun in 1994 was around 70 million. And then
70 million.
Let's say 7 crore.
7 crore log.
और 2017 में बाहुबली को मुझे मेरे ख्याल से 5-5.5 करोड़ लोग ने देखा है. Now, as content creators and makers, if you are, and if you are talking about a platform जहाँ पे reach आप कह रहे हैं कि 5-6 करोड़ साथ में लोग देख रहे हैं, तो इससे बड़ी चीज़ for any filmmaker or any storyteller, it's the biggest high. And when this film started, especially when we were in the offing of the second wave, and all thanks to our tallest partner Jio and Jyoti who backed this, that they want to make an immersive atmospheric action film for a good-looking star, who needs to be seen in a different avatar, and a guy who's known as a director to do such things. It's the biggest high for them to be able to sort of communicate this language the way they want to do it, for the scale that has been put in, and for the wider reach that we are targeting. So I think that sort of satiates everybody's...
it's a win-win for everyone.
It's a win-win for everybody.
This is to the both of you. I mean, I love the selection that's come out of yours in the last 3 years. Yeah, what a Jersey come out, you got a Kabir Singh award. It's incredible. It's allowed you to do whatever you want to do as a performer. People have appreciated it. For you, sir, you are the king of large. Let's make everything very, very large. And it's not just explosions. Here also, even the look of it, the scale is so international. It's slick. It's good looking. And he mentioned that part. He's a good-looking boy. He always has been a good-looking boy. Now you have a good-looking boy.
I've never had two men in the gap of 1 minute call me good-looking like that. It's very... I'm loving it. Thank you.
You keep that jawline up, brother. We'll have to do this for many, many years. But, he's a good-looking boy. You've got the star is there. There's a responsibility. You're used to it. But is there extra pressure to make it even more slick and that H word, Hollywood-ish? होना चाहिए because it's online.
See, one thing that I have realized over a period of time is that, with time, content is evolving. Okay. So you have to have the pulse of the time, which is very, very important. The production value, the slickness, everything originates from the story that you want to say. It does not mean कि अगर आप OTT platform पे आ रहे हो तो आप कम budget के बनाओगे या it should not look how a film on a big screen look. Actually, it becomes an added responsibility as a maker that the content you bring on an OTT platform needs to look more international, I would say, because your viewership is more international. Yeah. And the idea is that it needs to have a reason to come onto an OTT platform. See, we are talking about numbers, box office collections. What's very important is that post-COVID content changed. That is a realization that you need to have as a maker, as a creative person. There needs to be a content which now you will make for an OTT platform, and you will put in the same energy, you will put in the same budget, you will put in the same craft. And when you do it for a big screen, you will do exactly the same thing, but you will find a reason why this person who's spending that hard-earned money, which we call our audience, will come to a big screen to watch a film like that. So
But just a question, have you done something differently when you say that I started at inception to make it for OTT? कुछ अलग किया?
Yes. See, the thing is that Indian audience is very, very simple. There is a certain language that the film has, and I'm not only talking about the language जो हम बोलते हैं. It is a cinematic language. Now, to create that language for a platform is different, and to create it for a theater where people will buy tickets and come is very different. In this film, it's primarily dealing with drugs. There is gore, there is blood, there is certain language that people is speaking in, and that was very important because that is what that thing grounds those characters in that world. अगर मैं उसके साथ tamper करता, फिर I would not be honest with the content, with the script, and I would have sold myself कि चलो theater में आते हैं. So Shahid and I were very, very clear कि इस picture को हम clearly एक OTT platform के लिए बनाते हैं, and let's go 100% realistic on it.
शायद action अगर बात की, action word बड़ा abused word मुझे लगता है, क्योंकि realistic action होता है. यहाँ देखकर अगर कोई Hollywood की एक झलक आ रही है मुझे, hand to hand combat बड़ा हो रहा है, ये सब हो रहा है, तो इसमें क्या was there a large thought process that is gone in, because आप बड़ा carefully map करते हो. I know as an actor also आप picky भी हो, क्या करना है, कैसे करना है, mapping चलती है. यहाँ पे action guns के साथ सिर्फ नहीं है, बहुत सारी और चीज़ें हैं. So was there a massive shift अपने दिमाग में also saying that यार मुझे ना अगर करना है तो एक दिमाग में Terminator होता है, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone है, बहुत सारे लोग हैं ऐसे. So did you have something in your head when you were saying that I need this kind of vision?
So मैंने अपने आप को अली की गोदी में डाल दिया था. I said यार तू ये एक्शन बड़े सालों से कर रहा है and all your actors look damn hot doing action, मेरे को अच्छा दिखा देना. So that whole credit goes to Ali. I think he understands how to bring action that is, like he said, cinematic. It's gritty. It's not it's not like a amusement park के उसके अंदर एक कोई उड़ रहा है, कुछ हो रहा है. Of course that also works and there is place for that. But what really excites me is when the action feels very raw and when it feels like it's happening, and the way that it's being shot, it feels like you're in the middle of it and you're kind of, it becomes really nice and edgy and sexy. So I think that's what he also wanted to do. And it's also a very interesting combination as a subject of a very character's emotion driven. That's why it's a titular part, because the character is central in the way the story is told. But the ambience and the world that he is a part of, and the stylization of the action and the treatment, so those two things need to go hand in hand in a subject like this. And I really must say that Ali really brought his A game onto this film. We were shooting in very challenging circumstances, and Himanshu right here had to do all the spade work, all the back end work, so really a big round of applause for you, Himanshu. You really made this happen. And I think Ali has a great partner in Himanshu, and they work beautifully together. But just the way he put the whole thing together, it made it very comfortable for me. I think Ali and me have known each other for many, many years. He was actually, hadn't debuted as a filmmaker when we kind of worked together. So I have seen him in those days as well. He was waiting to make a movie, and I could see that he had so much ambition and desire and sometimes frustration that, you know, why can't I make a film that I really feel is going to work in today's time? And I feel so proud of him to see how he has come all these years. And now he's, you know, he's married, he has a beautiful family, a beautiful, you know, home, and, you know, he has a little baby now, and that all that has happened in the last year and a half. So I feel like we are kind of in and around from the same time. I think I'm just a couple of years kind of senior to him, if I can say so. But so I just feel like we were both in a space where we could collaborate. Our energies matched really well. I think he's also thinking long term. He's become a man, he's settled, he wants to work a certain way. He doesn't want to compromise on the kind of work that he does. He says, मैं नहीं करूँगा picture. नहीं मैं करूँगा ही नहीं इसका ऐसे सब. So I love that about him, you know, that he doesn't want to compromise. It doesn't matter what kind of film we're making, he wants to give it his best. And he's very alive on the film set, you know. I'm used to doing these films which are very performance oriented. Of course, this is also, but then this has a lot of other things happening as well, right? You can't just put the camera and then expect the actor to act. So, you know, on the first couple of days, I realized I'm not top priority on the set, you know. So he has this guy called Bablu, okay, who is his twin, okay. He is on Steadicam.
Oh,
And we couldn't have done this film without Bablu. If you guys don't know Bablu, go check him out. He's a rager.
And
But
he used to be an
anyways,
action. He used to be an action star earlier, action boy.
I realized I'm the second hero of the film because Ali was not interested in what I was doing till Bablu got what he was doing right. After Bablu and Ali were happy, they'd look at me and say, "नहीं ठीक है, आप जाओ, आप break लो, आप नाश्ता कर लो," you know. But it was a great experience working with Ali, and this is my first action film, and I couldn't have asked for anybody better to do it with, because I don't think I would have looked this good or been able to do it this well without the kind of experience and understanding that Ali has. And so I'm very fortunate that I got to debut in action, which is a very different genre, very, very different genre. It needs to be, especially when you're on set, the way things happen is very different from most other genres. There's too much